Hey y'all, welcome to another vlog. Today we are actually in the middle of my shift. I feel like I gotta do this every time, but I was actually planning on vlogging tomorrow because it's my first time on this unit and I'm back on this unit again tomorrow. So I just wanted to experience it firsthand before like getting y'all involved. But here we are today because something interesting has happened that I've never seen before. So I wanted to share it with y'all. So I'm at my newer facility. For those who are not familiar, I'm Nurse Laney. I'm a float pool nurse. I go to different hospitals in the same network. So I picked up another one recently, and that's the one I've been in the ER a lot, but today I'm on the observation unit. So basically I'm going to be receiving the patients I normally get from the, send up from the ER. So I'm going to get them today, basically. So I wanted to get on here to tell you guys, one of my patients, she came in for, we would think it would be a suicide attempt because she took several pills to feel at peace. That's her verbiage. But she says she wasn't trying to kill herself. She wasn't trying to die. She just wanted to be at peace because she was heartbroken. So what's interesting about this case is that at that time, she didn't know that she was pregnant. So she's like newly pregnant. She had no idea. She just found out now. So they consulted Psych for her to see, like, is she suicidal? Is she like safe to go home or what? So they evaluated her yesterday actually, and it's been like a discrepancy going on because the psychiatrist actually did not clear her to be safe to go home. He actually recommended inpatient psych for her. So the psychiatrist didn't come like on like in person. They did it over like virtual. And then they have like some team here who also evaluates the patient. I really don't know why you need two people or why you have a group and then the psychiatrist, but apparently they're the ones that handle the warrants and stuff like that. For those who are familiar with psych, y'all probably know more than I do because it is all new to me today, which is why I'm sharing it to y'all. But I guess it's like a psych code type of thing because they said they had to get a warrant and they had to have the doctor sign the warrant to make the patient inpatient psych. So the psychiatrist is supposed to reevaluate her tomorrow because she's already been here a day at this point. But the discrepancy is that yesterday the team who came by cleared her and said it was safe for her to go home. But it basically doesn't match what the psychiatrist said, and that team has to defer to what the psychiatrist recommended. So basically the psychiatrist wanted them to do inpatient psych because they feel like she's downplaying her symptoms. Like she's saying like she wasn't trying to die, but the things you did, like it was too many pills basically. It's not like you took one or two pills to feel at peace. She took like a lot of pills. So from their point of view, they're feeling like she's like not being honest and she can't really verbalize like why she did that other than feeling at peace, and it's because she's heartbroken. So it's kind of like, well, what's different today than yesterday? You're still heartbroken, right? I don't know. It's a lot of like, I don't want to say drama because she's not dramatic. She's actually okay. She's like, she's younger. She's like around my age, but the reason why she's heartbroken is in the room with her. So I don't know, child. You know how some people be trying to do stuff for attention, and I don't know what it is. I guess that's why they want to hold her to make sure. But that was interesting today because normally it's kind of clear cut for me. Normally it's like, okay, that person's suicidal, put them on suicide precautions, but that's not the case with her. Because it's not, the math is not mathing, basically. So I had to call the doctor, explain to the doctor. She had to come up here to sign the warrant. And they're like, what's going on? So I had to update them. I got the team, got the doctor here. And now the patient's like, well, why I can't go home now? What's different from today than yesterday? Basically, yesterday told me it was clear, but actually she was never cleared, to be technical. So I talked to her about it. She's okay. I told her maybe she talked to the charge nurse about it because I was like, she's more familiar with this stuff than I am. I was like, she would be able to give you more accurate information on how this works. Because I have an idea from what they've been telling me, but I've not dealt with this personally. So I'm definitely going to keep y'all updated with what's going on with that. But she couldn't even leave anyway because she wasn't medically cleared. But I think now we're moving towards her being medically cleared. So she can't go anywhere, basically. Like, she can't go home. My other patients on this unit, I'm 5-1. Like, a lot of them are walkie-talkies. So like I said, these are the patients I normally have holding in the ER and I send up to the unit. Like, these are observation patients. That's the unit. So there are a lot of them are anal ×4 walkie-talkie. Some of them came in for vomiting. Some of them pneumonia. I already discharged one patient. She was the pneumonia patient. She's just doing oral antibiotics now. The other one, she had a syncopal episode, so she actually passed out like while driving. So they just did a cardiac workup on her. So they did an echo, a stress test, and checked her troponins and all that. So we're just waiting on cardiology to clear her. My other patient, he came in for ultramental status. I'm counting. So I said the syncopal one, I said pneumonia, that's the one I discharged. I said the vomiting one, I said I've been talking about that girl for the whole time. So yeah, those are all my patients today. Y'all know it's kind of like faster paced because they're observation, so some of them will, like, they're supposed to discharge today. So I've already discharged one. It's like 12 o'clock. So I'll probably begin another one soon. I know another one is supposed to go home in the afternoon because the nausea patient, they're just going to advance her diet, see if she tolerates it without any nausea, and then she's going to go home too. So that's it for now. I'm basically just waiting for them to clean this room and for me to get a patient, because right now everybody's good. I've checked on everybody. That's it. But I'll keep y'all updated and let y'all know if anything else interesting happens. And I am going to record tomorrow, so I don't know. I might be back up here or not, so we'll see. Hey y'all, so I ended up with 3 patients, which is a miracle because the turnover rate, is fast with the patients because they're observation. But I ended up was about to have to take a report for a patient in one of my rooms, but it was during shift change, so the night shift nurse was actually next to me when they gave me a call. So I was like, you want to take it or what you want to do? So I already had put it on speakerphone, so he just listened in. So I didn't really have to take that patient. Then the other room was just empty. So report was really quick, very easy, because the guy that I was mentioning who was going to get the admission, he had my 2 of my patients. No, well, he did technically have 2 of my patients total, but one of the patients I was giving him, he took care of the previous night, which is the one with the most complicated report because he has a lot of wounds and stuff. So report went smooth. I'm supposed to be back on that unit again tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. It actually was a cool day. It wasn't too bad, which I like because I didn't want to go in today. That's the problem with being PRN. It's like you have to force yourself to go to work. But I didn't want to call out, so I went in, and I'll be back on that unit supposed to be tomorrow. If not, I'll probably be like in the ER or somewhere. That's really all I gotta say. Oh, but I did want to tell y'all, I've been having some questionable, like, the way people have been coming into the hospital is like, how did we get to this point? Like, what are you doing with your life? So I had a patient like last week, right? He came in because he hadn't urinated in 2 days. And I was like, can you imagine not peeing for 2 days? So then he started having pain and he ended up coming to the hospital. I also had a patient last week who had been having like menstrual cycles for the past 6 months for 3 weeks each month. So I think I said that correctly where y'all can understand it. So each month for the past 6 months, she's been having 3-week-long periods. I'm like, what does it take for y'all to come to the hospital? Like, not even a hospital, like y'all didn't go to the doctor, you didn't go to like the urgent care. Like, are you not concerned? Like, what is going on? today my patients were a little bit more interesting, like with their stories as to why they came in. I'm like, Grandma, what were you doing? So one of them had a syncopal episode while she was driving, and I think about that all the time. I be like, what if somebody just pass out behind the wheel while they driving? Like, can you imagine that? Or if like somebody stroked out or had like a seizure or something? I mean, it's all possible, right? Or if somebody just died while they was driving. These are the things I think about. But I was like, so that happened to one of my patients. She came in. That's the one who's going for that heart cath tomorrow. Then my other patient who came in, she passed out at the gas station while she was over here gambling on them little gas station machines. I was like, and she was vomited and all this other crazy stuff. They called EMS at the gas station. Can you imagine? You just trying to get a bag of chips and a drink, and somebody is like passes out wild. But today was an interesting day. I don't know if I ever follow up in regards to my psych patient. So y'all, that was a whole hot mess because it just kept going back and forth. So that team I was talking to y'all about before that I didn't know what it was, actually it's just like a social worker basically. So it's a psychiatrist, has their own recommendation, and then the social worker basically just implements it. It's supposed to be. It's kind of like how PT evaluates the patient to see if they recommend, if they think they should be home and home health or SNF or rehab or whatever. So with this, that team, remember we reconsulted them, so they came in and agreed with the previous psychiatrist saying that she wasn't fit to go home, and then they had got the warrant to keep her. I mean, I guess it wasn't really voluntarily, but it was gonna be one of them psych holds basically. But then we had already reconsulted another psychiatrist because we didn't know what the heck had happened last night. So they ended up calling again, but it was a different psychiatrist. This psychiatrist didn't believe she was a danger to herself, and she didn't have any suicidal ideations, and she didn't believe that like she needed to be placed on a psych hold, basically. So she cleared the patient for discharge. I had to contact the doctor over again to tell them, hey, actually the patient is going to go home because surgery had already came out to clear her. Because she didn't come in, like, well, she came in because she took all them pills, but in the midst of all that, she had found out she was pregnant. Then they thought it was an ectopic pregnancy. Then it turned out it wasn't an ectopic pregnancy. But then they discovered that her appendix was inflamed, so then they were trying to see if they needed to remove it. So it was just like one thing led to another. But I had to call all them people back and be like, hey, the psychiatrist said she can go home. So she ended up going home in the afternoon. But it was a lot of back and forth today. I learned some things I had never heard before. I actually do remember that team when I was in ER one time. I think I was sitting with a patient. But like, we don't do stuff like that too common on the floor. So I learned something new. That's cool or whatever. But I'll be back tomorrow. I'm getting a little sleepy. Hopefully our shift is good tomorrow. We'll see where we end up. I do know I'm back at the hospital, like I said, and I'm supposed to be back on that unit, but we'll see if that plays out how they said it was going to. So see y'all tomorrow. All right, you guys, so welcome to day 2 of this vlog. So I went up to the observation unit because y'all know I said yesterday I was scheduled here. When I got up here, I saw they had floated me to ER. So I'm on my way back down. So I'm on my way back down to the ER. Y'all know they like to start a little bit later than they do on the floor. So I actually got here like right at the time I'm supposed to clock in to be on the floor. But I mentioned in previous vlogs at the ER they huddle and stuff really late, like 6:45, 6:50, and it goes on to 7 really. And I normally don't attend the huddles, but the thing about the ER ones is that you have to kind of go because that's where you find out your assignment. So that's why I always have to go to those huddles. So I'm actually like in a different tower than where the ER is. So we're walking that way now. And I also had to go up to that floor because I had left my lunch there because I anticipated being back. So I left my lunch and some of my snacks I didn't eat. So got that. Now I'm headed to the ER break room and all that. So let's go.
Fresh eye.
Alright, y'all, so we're going to get breakfast. I actually brought a yogurt and I have an oatmeal with me, but I didn't pack a lot for lunch and I don't know how this day is gonna go, so I don't want to get to the point where I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go ahead and get breakfast, but I'm gonna actually get what I normally get because last time, if y'all recall, when I bought breakfast, I experimented, tried something new, which I normally don't do. And then I didn't even really care for it. And I spent more money than I normally do. So I was kind of annoyed. Because I was like, not me spending more money. And I don't even like this. So I'm going back to my little breakfast sandwich I get whenever I order breakfast here. So that's what we're doing now. I'm 5 to 1 with my patients. They're all, I actually started off at 4 and I ended up getting another one already. It's super early still, it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, why are you still here?
I have a class.
Oh, okay. So that was the night shift nurse that gave me a report. I'm like, why are you still here? He said he got a class, so I guess. All right.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on the front. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, can I get a bacon, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich?
Okay.
Can we do it with the Texas toast?
All right.
Thank you. All right, so yeah, that's what's going on. So I have 5 patients. I was saying I started off with 4, and I already ended up getting another one. But that's fine because they're all basically like walkie-talkies. I already like charted on everybody and everything. So I'm going to spend a little time eating breakfast. It actually, I think, works out that I did end up on observation today because my patients are pretty simple, like straightforward. There's not a lot of meds. Most of all of their labs is already done by night shift, like the troponins and lactic acids and stuff. So only had one I had to do so far, and I got another one I gotta do at 11. So, I got a chart on one patient. The one patient I just got, I got a chart on him, but that's it. Everybody else is done, and I've already medicated them and everything. So we're in a good spot so far. So hopefully today goes by like at a good pace. After today, I'm supposed to be going on vacation for my friend's bachelorette trip. So I'm hoping today goes by fast because I didn't even want to work this week, but I knew I was going to regret it when that paycheck hit. I knew I wasn't going to be too happy about that. So I was like, let me go ahead and work my shifts I need to work. So I'll keep y'all updated if anything exciting happens.
My new man on a leash. Traded in my old nigga, he was just a clean when I pull up to the scene. Big goals and I put that on me. What you thinking? What's good? Fuck how you feeling? I wish a nigga would. They hit the husband on your homies. Stepping in your bad bitches only. My ex used to act like he owned me. Ain't enough just to treat me like a trophy. I had that.
All right, y'all. So we made it through our shift. Actually, the way that this pen light still works after always being on in my pocket is amazing. Anyway, I forgot to take all my stuff out of my pockets. I was such in a hurry, I guess, to get out of there. Today was cool. Nothing crazy. I ended with a total of 4 patients today. And honestly, I didn't really have like a lot of turnover like I normally do down there. I think I only sent maybe 3 patients up if I'm not mistaken. So that's not too much. I've sent up way more before. I showed y'all earlier, or I'm going to show y'all now because I'm going to insert it here. I found a new report sheet. So I know I showed y'all like some time ago, the last ER vlog, I think it was, that I had got a report sheet that I was going to use because I don't want to keep printing out the sheets, the papers and stuff for getting the patients or whatever. Like I didn't want to have to keep printing them out, and I didn't need all that like information on the patients. I just needed like bare like the necessities basically. So I found a new report sheet on Google, and I basically I didn't customize it, but I made it feel like an entire page instead of how it was formatted originally, because I need more space to write. Like I write pretty big, and then like there was no real space for like the labs, and like I'm not writing like all labs down, but like the important ones I wanted to write down, like the troponins and the lactic acids. That's what matters most in ER, and then anything like critical. And then there was some other things that I couldn't write down, like with that paper that I had, and it was just the room was not enough for me to write like really well. There was no place for like ambulation or anything like that. And then like the history box was so small, and y'all know how some people have like extensive histories or whatever. So this one just is gonna work way better for me. I think it's 3 per page, so I think that's just fine. So I print out a lot, so next time I'm down there I'm gonna use it, and I'll let y'all know how it works for me. But it seems like I'm almost always gonna be either ER or observation. Like observation was fully staffed today, that's why they floated me to ER. So I'm just like getting used to it at this point. I've not been on like the regular floor since I started working at this particular hospital, which is fine by me. I've started like learning the people in those departments, and I like them, so that's cool. But today wasn't that bad. It worked out well. I'm glad it's over. Y'all know I said I was going on vacation after this, so it's up from here. If y'all made it to this point in the video, I need y'all to go ahead and subscribe to the channel, join the team, like the video if you like my content, and I'm going to see you guys next week in the next vlog. Bye.